So we are gathering here to practice meditation. So we have just finished our evening chanting. That is the reflection on the Buddha's virtue, recollecting the purity, his wisdom and his compassion. And as an example, a one who can be free from all the taints, asavas, to overcome and liberate fully. And once he was liberated, and he gave teachings for 45 years, and that's known as the Dhamma. So we reflected on the Dhamma, which is apparent here and now, encouraging everyone to investigate, and the results are there once you have fully committed. So we recollect the virtues of the Dhamma in this way. And we also recollect the virtues of the community, the Sangha, who are practicing in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha, with this integrity, worthy of paying respect. So now this is a time to reflect upon our own virtues, our own self. And in this case, the first thing we have to check is the virtues of our own self, that whether are we practicing at least of this restraint from committing any violence, restrain from committing anything which is against with the rules and regulations. So-called at least of practicing the 5 precepts properly, just to make ourselves free from any violations. And checking our motivation to be here in this moment to practice, and why are we here to practice? What is the purpose? So checking the genuine interest and the motivation of ourselves, why I am here in this moment practicing this meditation. In the practice of a meditation, the first purpose of the practice is to gain the concentrated mind and freeing any mental disturbances, or freeing ourselves from any unwholesome thoughts, and latent kilesas, dormant kilesas, and defilements that's very dormant, latent in our mind. So we're taking it out. When we are restraining our physical actions from any unwholesome activities, verbal actions, we are not speaking harsh, but speaking kindly with loving kindness. These will help to grow the mental strength. and mind becomes easier to be concentrated. Once mind is concentrated, then a latent defilements will simply come to arise one after another. It's like when you are sitting in the middle of the forests, the more you become a calm and a quieter, basically in tune with the nature, the animals will come to closer to you, or some animals which we never know will appear to let us see, and the very moment when we engage or when we move somewhere or something, and they will just run away. Similarly in our minds too, when our mind settles down, calmed down, zoned in, latent defilements will appear from deep conscious, subconsciously saved. These defilements will appear. When it appears, then simply recognize and let it go. Do not hold on to it. Do not take on a grasping at all. So practice of a meditation is like we are cutting these defilements in different ways. One, we're cutting by practicing, at least during this time of a meditation, verbally and physically we are not committing. So it's a temporarily avoiding from committing any unwholesomes. As a first level, it's called temporarily cutting these defilements to arise from us, from in our minds and hearts. And the second is being mindful of it, everyday life. Whenever these arises, we simply mindful of it and take it away. And that is the second or intermediate way of taking it away. It's more stable. And the last one is a latent defilements that is very hard to see and hard to know. It's subconsciously saved from the past, or instant past or distant past. Could be from the previous lives, or could be from the childhood age that's saved. Basically, we are taking it out and removing it, offering kindness and compassion to own self and own hearts and minds, understanding ourselves. So each time when you pay attention to the primary object, there is a thought of going into something else. In those cases, simply noticing that. It's called recognizing and removing. So rather than after we have recognized it, engaging, we simply respond and let it be. So in the practice, we simply need to check few things, aware of our own body in the present moment, and having an object as a tool, a friend, or a base to work on. It's called kammatthana, the object where we work. Since the mind always needs an object to work, object to arise. Without an object there is no mind, so we keep this primary object as a base to arise this mind, and on the basis of that, whenever other secondary objects arises, we simply know and let it be. And when we are unaware of these secondary objects, we are on alert, then these will take us into our perceptions or our identities, going into the hamster wheel, proliferating this and that and telling the stories. So rather than doing so, we simply recognizing them, and rather than grasping, we're simply responding that this has been arised, and that's known as the mental note. So making a mental note of these things as arise. And those who are practicing in home, following this screen, you may take away the screen, or simply listen the voice, or you simply close your eyes and practice. Follow the instructions, simply sitting comfortably, watching and aware of the primary object, and whatever comes, learn from it. And remember that the primary object, concentrating on a primary object, is not the ultimate goal of our practice, but it is just a tool to settle down, grounding ourselves and developing the sharpness of our mind to see through things as they truly are. Like the water, when it is scattered, it hasn't got the power to generate the electricity. Once it's been collected in one place and released from a narrow door, narrow hole, and that's how it generates the energy, and that's how we got the electricity. Similar to our mind too. When the mind is scattered, it hasn't got the power, strength to see things as they truly are. So primary object is basically we are uniting this mind to the strengthening it, so that we will be able to channel this united mind to see things as they truly are. Whenever things arises, whatever we are experiencing, an ability to see these as the impermanent, as it change one after another. So the initial practice, that's why we pay attention to the object and ability to be mindful of it. And continue practicing in this way, whichever form of a meditation you feel comfortable. But I would encourage you to the object that we have been working on, that the rising, falling of abdomen, or if you feel comfortable with the breath, and then go along with that. Practice with that. So continue practicing until you hear the gong. So we'll practice the loving kindness meditation. In the practice of a loving kindness meditation, first we share loving kindness and compassion to ourselves, just letting ourselves be ready to share and extend our kindness to someone else without the boundaries. So it's a preparation ground to extend our hearts and minds to all the sentient beings. Once we have fully understood ourselves, that we do not like harm, we do not like any tortures, we do not like any disappointments, so other beings. So having this thought, generating loving thoughts, kind thoughts, free from any illness, thought of a freedom from any physical illness, and thought of any illness, mental illness, and also wishing one to be protected from any disasters or anything. And similarly, so other people are too. They want to be happy, wish free from any sufferings, any troubles, any illnesses, and being safe. So feel yourself and then sharing the loving thoughts and the kindness to yourself. May I be well, may I be happy, may I be at peace. And similarly, extending these loving thoughts and free from any harmness to other beings, whatever beings are there. May no harm come to them. May they be safe and well. May their wishes, good wishes, come true. May they be free from physical pain, discomforts, illnesses, and mental troubles. If they are suffering from physical pain or mental pain, may they be free from it. Freeing yourself from any conceit or prejudice, and allowing our hearts to embrace everyone, and wishing everyone from freedom from any kinds of sufferings they may have, regardless of ethnicity, background, regardless of any types of being in this entire universe. Whatever beings there are, may they be liberated. Whether they are female or male, whether they are breathing beings, visible and invisible beings, may all beings be well and happy, free from sufferings. maintain ultimate happiness of Nibbana. Let's pay respect to the Buddha. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Sawakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Subhadipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅkho Sanghang Namami.